Today you have taken part in the celebrations in your host parishes. We know that many of you are staying in schools, halls, and some of you in army centres which were used to welcome refugees in past years. Kui ma noori mehena 1985. aastal osalesin Barcelonas teise kohtumisel, peatusin ma seal ühes suures kuulemajas. See ei olnud see, mida ma ootasin, ja see ei olnud kerge. Kuid üsna pea taipasin ma, kui oluline on kogukonnas elamine ja jagamine. Minu tuleviku vaadet mõjutas see, kuidas inimesed üksteist aitasid, olid valmis teisi teenima ja elasid lihtsalt elu. Ka selle noortekohtumise ajal on meil võimalus osaleda erinevatel teemadel toimuvates töötubades. Ma loodan, et need toetavad teie otsingutes ja annavad võimaluse kohtuda pühendunud eestlastega, kelle tunnistused võivad teid julgustada teie usuteel. Yesterday I said that we cannot forget the past, but we can look at it in order to build today and step by step construct our future. In so many of our countries, we are wounded by history and still carry the scars today. Others among you, notably those who are here from Ukraine, are still experiencing the horrors of war. In a moment, we will be hearing from Andriana and her sister Marta, who come from Lviv. I spent the last week in Lebanon with one of my brothers who hails from that country. We visited different religious communities during the time leading up to Christmas. You know that the Middle East is currently war-torn. We have many friends there, and our visit was a small sign of solidarity with them. The generosity of the welcome in a land where there has been so much destruction took my breath away. Buildings in many parts of the country are in ruins, yet people show incredible resilience by reopening their shops and clearing away the rubble. This resilience is a way of resistance to the violence that was unleashed. There are currently so many uncertainties in that country. War could return. Despite this, those we met shared the joy of Christmas. Their faith was the light that shines in the darkness. We also met with a Muslim sheikh in the south of the country. His own home had been destroyed, and some of the villages nearby are still inaccessible. The bombs were still falling when he also buried the Christian dead, whilst waiting for the priest to come and perform the necessary rites. When I spoke with young Lebanese as I was preparing the letter during the time of the recent bombardments, you could sense their hope for a future of peace and justice. Their courage was palpable, even if despair was not far away. We heard the Apostle Paul this evening writing to the first Christians in Rome, "We hope for what we cannot see." I felt that very strongly as I listened to these young people, and the meetings last week confirmed what I had earlier heard. Jesus himself was born in poverty at a time when nothing was clear in the land where he was to live. We too can find ourselves in situations where we cannot see the path forward. We can feel angry and at a loss, faced with certain realities. But can this spur us into action? A person quoted in the letter who met with one of our brothers recently said, "A creative anger is dwelling within me." The simplest gestures can become a marker of our desire to hope. We heard also in the reading about the groaning of creation. Our wounded human family is part of the wounded creation, where everything is given, everything is fragile, and everything is linked. What are the choices each one of us is called to make to show our care for our common home, God's good creation? When I visited Ukraine in May, I met with so many people, young and not so young, who gave their time and strength to help others. I think of the young man who was the director of an orphanage, a woman who runs training courses for emergency and trauma medicine, a widow whose husband was killed last year, who runs an association for children with special needs. I'd like to ask Andriana, I have to be careful because you look the same, yeah? Andriana, yes. I would like to ask Andriana to share some words with us, first of all. Andriana, what enables you to hope in your current situation in Ukraine?
I will be honest, it is not always easy to keep the hope when we see unfairness all around and for so long time. But what helps us to not to lose the hope is faith. And we believe that what is not possible for people is possible for God. There is always a sunrise after dark night. We believe that God always is there where the people are suffering. He also feels our pains and shares them. We also know that He doesn't leave and will not leave us alone in this hard situation.
Thank you. And Marta, how can we pray for you in the coming time?
In these hard and dark times, it's very important to stay united in prayers and stand together. We ask you to pray with us for sovereignty of Ukraine, for stopping aggression against our home country, for wisdom of the governments, and for peace to come. Please pray for all those people who lost their lives because of this cruel and unfair war, who lost their relatives, homes, for our soldiers who protect us every single day, risking their lives. May every family have them back home safe and sound. For all those who are captured, injured, lost, who feel physical and mental pain, who suffer and are in need. Thank you for all your prayers. We can really feel them all.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you. Tomorrow morning, you will read together the second part of the letter, Listening to People of Hope, as well as a Bible passage as indicated in the meetings app. Two of the questions you will share are, have I met any witnesses to hope in my life? And what have I learned from them? Perhaps you can begin to reflect on this already this evening. Our evening prayer will close with a time of prayer around the cross. All of you who wish may come and pray at the cross to entrust to Jesus your worries and troubles, as well as situations of suffering in the world. We think especially of the situation in the Ukraine, and also in the Middle East. Christ welcomes each one of us as we are, and as he did in his life on earth, walks with us in our questioning and doubt, just as he shares our hope. He renews our hope.